Max, let's continue and finish our series of look-aheads. We've, for the Texas high school football season, we've gone through every classification, and now we're down to the last one. Lehman Saunders, six-man contributor for TexasFootball.com, wrote out his look-ahead for Class 1A Division II. And I think this is the year that, like last year, if you look across Texas high school football, there were, I think, 3 locked and loaded favorites that it would be a surprise if they did not win a championship. I think West Orange Stark was 1. I think Bremond was 2. And I think Richland Springs was 3. Guess what? All 3 of them won.
Yep.
Right? There are some years that it is like that. For example, I remember like when Kyler Murray was coming back for his senior year. It would have been a stunner if they hadn't won a championship, right? When Jonathan Gray was coming back at Aledo, it would have been a stunner.
Right.
There have been
Gilbert's senior season at Lake Travis.
Exactly. Yeah. There are years where it's like it would be really surprising if they didn't win this, right? Don't hit the microphone.
Right. Sorry.
It would be really surprising. This year, as I look across the vast expanse of Texas high school football, there's one. There's only one team that I would say I would be pretty surprised if they didn't win a state championship. Right. And it's a familiar face.
Yep.
It's Richland Springs in 1A Division II. They are, I think it's important sometimes to hit the reset button when we talk about Richland Springs because for one, a lot of people, I think to their own detriment, don't follow six-man football.
Right.
And so they may not necessarily understand what's going on and just how amazing this program is. Last year, Richland Springs won its 8th state championship. And if that seems like a magic number, it's because it is. That is tied for the most in Texas high school football history. Southlake Carroll, Salina, Katy. Are those the other 3?
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
If I'm forgetting somebody, I'm very sorry. Richland Springs, right? They're in that category. When you look at those other programs, yeah, there's a chance Carroll wins a title. Yeah, there's I think a decent chance that Katy wins a title. Salina, maybe, if things break right.
Right.
We're entering a year where it would be a surprise if we did not have a team win a 9th state championship, which would be the most in history. Oh, and by the way, they've won them all since 2004.
Yeah.
This is the preeminent Texas high school football program. I mean, across any level. What Jerry Burkhart has built at Richland Springs is beyond compare.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing. These have all been won since 04.
04.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, Katy, 1959.
Yeah.
Southlake Carroll, 88. Salina, 74. Aledo, or no, that's it. But that's it. But that's how far back it goes.
Yeah. I mean, I would say the only real comparison for, like, being the program of the moment, the program of the era, would have to be what? Lake Travis?
Or Aledo.
Or Aledo.
I think probably Aledo even more so.
Yeah,
right?
I think, Aledo. You're exactly right. Aledo and Lake Travis are, to me, the two things. Carthage is probably in that conversation with what Scott Surratt has done, right?
Yeah.
There's that. Okay. Richland Springs once again enters the 2017 season as the preeminent, just, I think, overwhelming favorite to win the 1A Division II state championship. It's because they bring back the best player in six-man football in Walker Tippie, who was the player of the year last year. They bring back the defensive player of the year in Hutton Lusty. And if you read Lehman Saunders' piece on TexasFootball.com, he'll tell you he thinks he's the real linchpin of this team.
Right.
That Walker Tippie's amazing. Walker Tippie scores a lot. Walker Tippie is maybe the most dominant player, offensive weapon in Texas in six-man football. But for all the little things that make Richland Springs great, good defense, sound blocking, being versatile, Hutton Lusty really embodies that. And so Richland Springs is the team to beat, okay? Can anyone bring them down? Well, I will say that, first of all, I think, in my opinion, if they win Region 4, they're going to win a state championship. That's my opinion.
Right.
All due respect to Balmorhea, who we'll talk about in a minute, but all due respect to Strawn, who's probably coming out of Region 3, I think Region 4 is the toughest.
Yeah.
Region 4's got Milford, who is incredible. Terrence Smith is back after a sensational sophomore year. They're going to get past them. Calvert is a mystery. They're always very good, but they've got a new coach that still hasn't been named according to our reports. So we don't know a whole lot about them. Iredell had a fantastic year last year. They bring back Morgan Whitfield. Cherokee is a tough team in their own district, in Richland Springs' own district. This is a tough region they're going to have to navigate. If they get out of that, I think that they are going. I think they'll win a state championship. Now, I think Strawn's going to stand in their way in a semifinal. Strawn won 11-1 last year. They are bringing back 5 starters on both sides of the ball. Most of those starters are going to be juniors and sophomores. In my opinion, if you want to point at Strawn and say, you know what, they're a year early, I could buy that.
Interesting.
But if they have that breakout year and these juniors and sophomores really gel, it could be their year as well. The guy J.W. Montgomery was the newcomer of the year last year as a freshman. They bring back Tanner Hodgkins, who's an all-state running back. They got weapons. They're going to need to get past Kroll. Always good, but replacing Tristan Hayes.
Yep.
And that's not easy. Panther Creek, 12-1 last year. Could they reload? They've got a great tailback in J.C. McDonald and a couple other guys in Matthew Morris, but they need some youngsters to step up. Okay, so that's the right side of the bracket, right? That's the eastern side of the bracket. Let's go out west. We had Vance Jones, DCTF Live Zone Vance Jones on the show before the state championship game last year. And in a lot of respects, you could say that they were a year early last year.
Yeah.
They were a team almost entirely comprised of underclassmen. Mm-hmm. I believe they lose one letterman.
Yeah.
Like one guy off the roster.
Right.
I believe they bring back their entire starters, every one of their starters. They bring back everyone out of there. Beyond that, I also think that they are going to... I think that Region 2, every team there has a question mark. Okay? Jalen Helms is fantastic at Grand Falls Royalty, but I have some questions about defense. Jayton is terrific. They got Clay Griswold, who's very good, but they have to get out of their own district first, and they're probably relegated to dark horse status. Balmorhea is probably the biggest favorite in a region, simply because they are so good. They bring back so much experience, and beyond that, I think the region is a little bit down heading into 2017. What about Region 1? Valley is going to be in there. Okay, Turkey Valley is going to be back. They bring back Jayton Smith. They bring back Dax Allen. Bring back Jake Merrill. They bring back, I believe, 4 All-State guys. Bring back those guys. Not bad. Okay, Petersburg's going to be in the mix. Tristan Garza is back after rushing for 40 touchdowns last year, and Gabriel Hinahos is an outstanding defender as well. Fallout's going to be in the mix. Amherst are going to be in the mix. But ultimately, all of that is to say that what 1A Division 2 comes down to is it going to be Richland Springs or is it going to be somebody else? Mm-hmm. Is there anybody who can dethrone Richland Springs? Right now, where I'm sitting, I think the pick has to be no. The pick has to be Richland Springs is the king of six-man football right now, and we are firm believers in the Ric Flair principle that to be the man, woo, you got to beat the man. And Richland Springs is the definition of the man. Yeah. And with so much talent back, I just don't see a viable reason to say, yeah, Richland Springs is going to lose. That's where I'm sitting right now on June 6th. Right. That could change tomorrow. That could change in a month. That could change in November. But for now, right now, it's got to be Richland Springs and then the field.